What's up, peoples? It's your boy MM2K back again with another one. Sorry about that funky that funky graphic right there. But stick with your boy as I try to tweet this all out over the intertubes. Making up my own stuff. It's good, peoples. It's E3. It is E3. Right? We got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about, Day 1 officially. I mean, I understand that EA had their thing, but can you really call that a thing? So by default, that don't count to your boy. But thank you, Reverend TV, for tweeting this out. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But again, it doesn't really count to me. So the first official day, well, I don't want to say official. The first day that mattered to everybody was last night, and a lot of things happened, right? Cali Rex, what's up, King Player? I have PS4 contract here. We're gonna get into all that. Yeah, I know why y'all here, man. Let me just get. Oh man, y'all fools are starting early, man. I got the PS4 contract right here, bucko. Let's get it. But like I said, we're going to talk about it. We definitely going to talk about it. Let me just grab a couple things here. I think that's good. Yeah. I think I got that. There we go. We're going to tweet this bad boy out. Let's do that right now. Yeah, man, we're going to talk about 500-pound elephant in the room, which of course is Microsoft's conference. There's a lot of talk about it. This was it. What's that Michael Jackson thing before his unfortunate passing? This is it. This was it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. There was a lot riding on this, and I will say this before I get started. I told everybody. Now I get it. Let me preface it like this while I'm tweeting this all out, and I appreciate everybody for joining. Paul G, dog shit time. What's up to Paul G? Bang House Protection. He said, "Y'all fucks is crazy, man." Bang House Protection says, "What's up, man? Hey, sorry about E3, bro. Hey, look, man. Ain't nothing to be sorry about. Just hold on. Let me get this out, man. Y'all continue to cut it out in the chat, man." Hey, man, I love my chat, man. Like I said, even when I'm boisterous and loud, I don't want y'all to take that as I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, gaming, I'm very passionate about gaming. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing this for over 3 decades, and and if you haven't noticed, as you get older, you get a lot more excitable, all right? So don't take my excitement as anger. I want y'all to continue to voice your opinions, because I want to put it like this. For those of you that feel a certain way about that E3, for those of you that may have not looked at that E3 in a certain way that you expected it to look at, by not voicing your opinion, that's why you have what you had last night. But we're going to get into that. That's how you got what you got. We're going to go over timelines. We're going to go over what it meant. We're going to go over who should be happy, who should be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? We'll go over all that stuff. What does this mean for the battle between Sony and Xbox? Like I've already alluded that the console war is over, but that doesn't mean that the ecosystem war is over. You got to play close attention. Your boy likes to break things down specifically, break it, cut it up with a scalpel, because you got to be surgical with this shit sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take it piece by piece and absorb it. You don't just want to take a big gulp, because there's things that you're going to miss. And by us taking big gulps and missing things, I think last night was surprising. I will say this. I'm not going to give out my full thoughts on it just yet till I get all this tweeted out. But I will say that even though I wasn't expecting how definitive the message was, and I'll get into that, I wasn't expecting how definitive that message would be from Microsoft. Because, believe you me, there was a definitive message sent. whether you thought the thing was positive or not, there was a definitive message. I just didn't expect it to be that definitive. Like they've really drawn a line in the sand and said, this is where we're at. And if you're not on this side of the lawn, then too bad, so sad. That's basically what they said. With that being the case, I was not surprised because I told everybody, I said, you either have them going in one direction sloppily and hopefully they'll pick it up. That'll satisfy one group. Or they're full steam head in charge or full heads. I can't even talk right now. They're severely focused on one path and one path only. And we just did not want to own up to it. Or a lot of us didn't want to own up to it. And one of those two was really, really, really put out in the forefront last night. But with that said, while I'm tweeting it out, let me just go back to the chat. CD Mac 5. He says, see, as Microsoft showed the bare minimum. Gotcha. Sage mode lies most boring E3 in a while. The Almighty said, L3 sucked. Sony has won. And Overdone said, at this point, it's just depressing how defeated the Xbox community is. I mean, those are some very fantastic points. We're going to get into all that. Very great discussion we're going to have today. I can't wait. With that being said, can y'all retweet this out too? I'm trying to get this out to as many people as possible because we're going to cover some stuff today. We're going to officially set the tone, interpret for everybody that's still unsure of what Microsoft was saying to everybody last night. We're going to pull back the curtain, pull back the layers of the onion, and make everything as clear as possible. We're going to do that today. In addition, there was another conference that happened. Bethesda's conference. I don't want to ignore that. I know everybody may not be the biggest Bethesda fans. You know, I'm a Bethesda fanboy. But we definitely need to talk about Bethesda. I think there was a message they were trying to send too. They're definitely trying to send a message. Like there's changes that are paramount. That messages and lines in the sand have been really been focal last night. Like you really had a big focus on this is our direction, and I don't think you've seen such a poignant example of that any more than you've seen last night as it relates to gaming and messaging brought forth to E3. Now, again, was the end result something that everybody wanted? That's a totally different thing, man. But again, messaging was key. Let me say this as well. For those of you that don't know, we're doing big things for E3, PNTS Network. All right, we're doing full-blown E3 coverage. I'm covering everything except I'm lying. I'm personally covering as much stuff as possible, but PNTS Network is bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? We got my homie Dante Crisis, right? Big homie Dante Crisis is doing streams. He is part of the he is the newest member of the Vitamin G podcast. Very fantastic podcast hosted by your boy FC Violent. Your boy FC Violent is on the island somewhere, you know, so unfortunately he can't partake upon E3 festivities, but his crew is holding it down. Dante Crisis is one of them. Him and homie Nubs and Kofi, Creative Kofi, were on a couple of podcasts yesterday. Very entertaining podcast. You can see all of them by going to the PNTSnetwork.com. PN, that's pencil neck 30 something, okay? For those of you that were like surprised, what the hell does that stand for? PNTSnetwork.com. Go to PNTSnetwork.com. Look for the E3 2019 tab. When you find the E3 2019 tab, go down to where it says E3 TV. We have 4 different channels. We have 2 partner channels, which is Next Gen 720, his material. Whenever he drops something or whenever Dante drops something, we got streams going over there, right? And then we got their videos on demand over there. Then you got whatever is being wholly sponsored by PNTS. That's another channel right there. And then lastly, whatever's being broadcasted from the Coliseum, the E3 Coliseum. Check it out. We're broadcasting all of those same time, 4 different channels. You can check them out directly on the PNTSnetwork.com website. You can also, check out our shows. We got links to the shows. You want to find out a little bit more about Scram Punks, the members of Scram Punks, all the contributors. You want to help out the show. You want to help out Vitamin G Podcast, go to the Patreon. All that stuff, you can do all that through the website. The website has been completely revamped. Find out about our newest member, Bunny. You can check out her YouTube channel, Snow Bunny. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing big things over there. And last but not least, I want to give a big shout out to the homie, Next Gen 720. We appreciate him allowing us to stream his stuff too there. As you're watching his stuff, hit that thank you button. Donate to the cause, you know what I'm saying? We can't do this without your help, man. We're trying to provide y'all the best material whatsoever. If you click the thank you button, it'll go directly to where you can help out his channel. You know what I'm saying? And same with Dante. Hit the button there. If you like this dog shit channel, hit the thank you button there, man. So we got a lot of material coming for y'all, man. And, any support y'all can provide, man, we highly appreciate it. We're going to keep this rocking and rolling, okay? So with that said, I think I've officially tweeted this out to everybody. To everybody. All right, let me do this number right here. Let me close that out. Okay, so we got that. And let me do one of these numbers here. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Okay, there we go. All right, y'all. So let's talk about it, man. Oh, man. Big ups to the 13 people watching right now. Please retweet this out, man, because we're going to do it. We're pulling scabs off. And I want to do this in the name of gaming. Let me preface it with this. We're doing this all for the sake of gaming. Having a flag, having a preference, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has a preference, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But having a flag right now, particularly for one company where you defend them towards no end, is ridiculous. I think what happens is we blur the lines of certain facets of our life, right? Now, what does MM2K mean by that? I done picked up a dictionary, start using them big words, right? I'm not at work. But let me break it down for y'all. We take certain things that we deal with in life, certain elements, and we apply the right approaches there to everything that we deal with. And I get why we do that. We live very complicated lives. Things can be challenging, and we definitely want to simplify things as much as possible. Let me go to my YouTube channel because something ain't right here. Something ain't right. Let me go to my. I apologize, y'all. If y'all can't see the chat, I deeply apologize for that because, y'all can't see the chat because our friends at Streamlabs OBS f's up once again. That's what they do. Gotta love them. All right, let me do it like this. So let me take embed and stream. I deeply apologize for this, y'all, for this unprofessionalism. Oh, man. I tell you, man. Streamlabs, y'all gotta get it together. Y'all gotta get it together, man. No doubt. No doubt. Done. Did that work? That's not working. What the hell's going on here? Okay, I deeply apologize. Y'all can't see the chat, but y'all can see the chat in y'all respective, what's it called? So just for those that are watching the video, you're not going to be able to see the chat. And I deeply apologize. Again, it's a mix up with Streamlabs OBS. one of the most shittiest programs known to man. If it wasn't for the cloud technology, I wouldn't even be. But listen to that. The cloud, and the cloud disappoints once again, right? It disappoints once again. Let me try one more thing. Because this thing is like bad, man. It's like real bad. And it's not working. It's not working properly. Let's try this again. Embed and stream. Let's copy. Let's try you one more time. One more time. Now, because if I reset the cache, it's going to turn everything white. I know that. And it's not working. I'm going to do it. Done. Oh, look at that. It reset it, and now it's as small as can be. Properties. Now y'all can hardly see it. So let's do this. Man, that's a mess. That's a mess. Okay, forget it, man. Chain drive cases. What that man? The Bethesda conference was terrible. Y'all think that was terrible? Made MS look good. Wow. Oh, that's okay. All right. I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's how you feel. I apologize, guys. This thing is all messed up, man. So, all right, let's do it. You know, and I apologize if you're watching on Twitch or Mixer. Unfortunately, and I'll fix it after the show. I'm not going to restart because of this garbage. It's a mess. All right, now let's get into it. Okay. Whoops. Went over a little bit. Okay, transition. All right, there we go. That's a little bit better. All right, so here's the deal, y'all. As far as the Xbox conference is concerned, I want to make it abundantly clear to everybody that is not aware of this or wants to deny this fact. But I want to make it abundantly clear that Xbox, as we know it, died. It died. It didn't die last night. Didn't die, you know, when Sony shook hands with Microsoft to get on Azure and pretty much put an end to the console war. It didn't happen then. The console war died when Phil Spencer was given that promotion at the table. Okay. When he was given a promotion at the big boys table, Xbox gaming, as we know it, died. Now, what is Xbox gaming? Xbox gaming represents bringing nuanced gaming experiences with high fidelity and a lot of power to the plug and play ease of a console. That is the main pillar of Xbox gaming. And why was that the main pillar? And again, this is not MM2K's words. This is stuff that came from Seamus Blackley, that even when they tried this whole PC merge into this window thing, and Seamus let them know, like one of the original people behind this, he said, no, console and PC gaming ecosystems are totally different. They're totally different. You cannot take what we're doing with Xbox and mesh it with PC gaming and have it be the same animal. It's completely different. You change the DNA, you change everything. So they backed off of that for a little bit and they focused on making the console aspects paramount, right? That's what they did. So because they did that, a lot of people then understood the Xbox experience to represent again, that hardcore, the hardcore gaming motif, as far as console gaming is concerned, right? Again, we are going to present you with a top of the line experience, a nuanced experience, an experience that's built for that's built on the avenue of providing you things that you've never seen on a console, a Halo, stuff like that, a Mass Effect, a BioShock. We're providing, and these are PC experiences. This is what Seamus was trying to let people know within Microsoft that was trying to fuse this together. He said there's nothing wrong with console people wanting to experience these type of things, but you can't mesh them together. So let's bring those experiences over to the console and wrap them up in the console bow. That's what you have to do, because you have two totally different ecosystems. And it was a success. They went from being a little kid on the block to cold stomping the skin and go kicking Sony in the ribs last generation. Right? I mean, we can add a little back and forth about consoles. So you don't sell consoles just to sell consoles. Consoles are not toys. Consoles are an ends to a means. You sell your consoles to sell software, and Microsoft clearly last generation sold the most software, period. End of story. So their methodology worked as far as what they wanted to do in the realm of console gaming. It worked for the consumer. Again, for those of you that are confused, Xbox gaming was about making the console experience the centrifuge of the Xbox experience. It took from the PC realm. It may have attempted to take from the mobile realm. It may have attempted to take from different experiences, but it wanted to take whatever experiences it was bringing to you and put it through a highly capable, a highly innovative, dedicated piece of hardware, you know what I'm saying? With high fidelity and so forth, and put it into the plug and play ease of a console. That's what Xbox is about. That's why it's called Xbox. It wasn't called Xtreme or just X Game. It's called Xbox. So you fast forward to when Phil took over, not just period, not when Donnie D was kicked out. I'm going to go a little bit further. When Phil took over, and once Phil took over, they've already had in plan. I already went through this. I got the video for y'all, the whole Terry Myerson kerboppel, you know what I'm saying, where people's trying to blame Terry Myerson. And I had to break it down for y'all. That the whole Terry Myerson thing is a sham, okay? We're in this place right now with the Xbox, with Xbox gaming being dead because of Satya Nadella. Do not mistake it. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, had no faith in gaming because Satya came on the scene and he drew a line in the sand. And his line in the sand is, if your product or services cannot reach people where they're at, I don't care about it. I do not believe people having to come to your product or service. I think your product or service should go to them. And really, the product and service is going to be more of a service. He said that we are more of a service-based company. So the whole point of a console, which was part of the fight for the living room that Microsoft and Sony had previously fought vigorously, was no longer a concern to Satya Nadella. And being that was no longer a concern of Satya Nadella, he drew a line in the sand and he looked over at Phil and he said, look, I'm going to keep it jiggy with you. This little shit that y'all got going on over here, y'all wasting billions of dollars, red ring of death and all that other shit. I'm not feeling this. Keep doing what you do. But here goes my man 50 grand. His name is Terry Myerson. My man 50 grand. I want my man 50 grand. He don't really care for y'all mugs. He don't give a shit about y'all. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to work with Terry. Okay? You're going to work with Terry. And Terry's going to keep y'all lean and mean. And once we figure out what we're going to do with you, we'll keep you posted. Right? Right. That's exactly how it went down, because you don't become CEO of a company if you don't understand the politics and the mindset of the VPs that are already on the board. As someone that has done Fortune 500 work for 20 plus years, believe you me, Satya Nadella understood the position of Terry Myerson before he put Terry Myerson in charge of Phil once Donnie D was gone. Okay? He knew how Terry felt. He wanted Terry to do the things that he wanted him to do, and Terry did them. He kept Xbox, quote unquote, lean and mean. Y'all got this Fable game out here? Hey, yo, Phil, I think you're going to want to cut that shit, right? You want to take a butter knife and cut that shit, bro. Yeah, babe. What's this game that you're dealing with, Platinum Games? What was that? The name of the game escaped me, but y'all know the game with the dragon and shit like that, right? Oh yeah. How's that going, man? Hey, yo, look, hey Phil, look. Here's the real deal, holy Phil. Phil, I need you to go up there, check on the motherfuckers. If the shit ain't ready to even put in the oven, it sounds like they still got the shit. They're rolling it around. They're rolling around the dough. If they're not ready to pop this motherfucker in the oven so it can come out in the next 6 to 8 months, stop production. Phil, you went there, you got back. What's the report? What's the war report, homie? Oh, they're not done? Axe it. Hey, yo, Phil. Look, bruh. I'm a little concerned about Sony and this whole their Gaikai servers, or just something. I'm concerned about our showing, man. I think we could carve out a little marketing budget. Let's talk about this Crackdown 3. Because Sachi's all about that cloud. And we got to show that we the cloud motherfuckers here. The HCIC, the head cloud in charge. They talking about these Gaikai servers. Sachi's not liking this. Go out to here. I'm going to get my marketing team together. We're going to put together this demonstration of Crackdown 3 so everybody can talk about the cloud and the power of the 12 Titans. Because this is what Satya wants. We're building our company on this. Yeah, MM2K is telling you that I've got from reputable sources that Terry Myerson is the reason why Terry Myerson is the reason why Crackdown 3 was shown so early under that technology. Vis-a-vis Satya Nadella, they were concerned about all this other talk of cloud everywhere else. And they wanted to draw a line in the sand. They wanted their footprint to be all over this cloud technology. So Terry Myerson, with Satya's blessing, went to Phil and said, yo, get out there, talk about Crackdown 3, show this what this cloud technology is likely possible of, so they know that we are the cloud, the HCIC in charge, okay? And like the good soldier Phil is, that's what they did. Now, I ended up biting them in the butt. And am I saying that Terry Myerson is an angel and a saint and he had Xbox's best interest at heart? No. And I believe this source, very credible source. And I don't believe for a minute that Phil, I don't believe for a minute that Phil masterminded all this stuff. Okay? I don't believe it for a minute. My bad, Joe. I'm sitting there I'm trying to fix this chat. This chat ain't working right. All right. So with that said, again, I don't believe for a minute that Phil masterminded all this stuff. He didn't. This all came down from Satya Nadella. Satya, remember, at the beginning of his induction as CEO, he told y'all that Xbox was not a pillar of the Microsoft business. They cut studios. They cut Scalebound. That was the game. They cut Scalebound and they got rid of Lionhead and they got rid of Fable. Fable looked good. And they refocused their energy on games that were cloud focused. Or that worked with the power of the cloud. Or that were purely service based, but they were low budget service based. Because at the time, Satya wanted to make sure that the business stayed lean and mean until he figured out what he was going to do with them. In the interim, they were able to sign the Minecraft deal with Terry Myerson. They were able to do deals with the Havoc and all this other stuff. And they were able to make Game Pass, which is a service that takes you out of that battle for the living room and brings the games to wherever you're at. Is starting to do that. They brought that to the fruition, which again was the birth child of Xcloud. Satya's like, oh, there is space for Xbox at the table. Well, Xbox is name only. We gonna call it Windows Gaming. Phil, you're the head of Windows Gaming. Because we ain't doing no damn, we don't care about no box anymore. We'll make a box available, but these motherfuckers gonna pay for it. And Phil understanding that, well, Terry's gone now. Terry wants, trust me, when Terry got assigned Xbox, very credible sources confirm, he wanted nothing to do. He hated Xbox. He wanted them gone. So to be in charge of him was the last thing that he wanted. Because he couldn't just boot them. He was just responsible for keeping them lean and mean. They cut the fat, which they thought were games. And then they were mean by bringing in games like Minecraft, which is just a cash cow, and focusing on games as a service, which again brought them in a lot of money, and they broke records as far as the gaming division was concerned. Terry was like, all right, I helped them become lean and mean. Okay, y'all gonna keep Xbox, fine. They're all profitable. Let me do my Windows thing. All right, you're done. Bye. So y'all want to live on this mountain and this crazy motif that what it was is that Terry Myerson was sabotaging Microsoft, and because he was sabotaging Microsoft, Phil was able to fight the Uncharted battle, was swinging through vines and climbing rocks and mountains and shit, and prove to Satya Nadella that they're being sabotaged and they're really worth it. So then to punish Terry Myerson for his deeds, they still pay him and make him focus on Windows, meanwhile making him still in charge of Xbox's advertising. Who the hell does that? If you were sabotaging something that I now find near and dear to my heart and a pillar to the success of my company, number one, why are you going to even still be here, let alone be in charge of directing the messaging for that? It just doesn't make any sense. Terry had a job. He did his job. It was time for him to move on. Terry fucked up at his job later on when it came to Star Lake and some Pentium chips. Some Intel chips and some other shit. And it was revealed that it looked like he was lying about something completely different from Xbox altogether. That's why he got canned. But trust, it had nothing to do with Xbox. Terry did his job. He cut the fat as far as Satya was concerned, along with Phil. And they signed some of the biggest deals in Xbox history, money-making deals. But I say this, all this, because this is all in the past. I say this to tell y'all why y'all were in a funk and y'all are part of this problem. Y'all were so focused on Terry Morrison. Terry Morrison's gone. He had nothing to do with that E3 last night. That E3 last night, and I haven't said this officially yet, but that E3 last night was abysmal. It was horrible. It was disgusting if you were a hardcore gamer. And if you're a hardcore Xbox gamer, that show was disgusting and repulsive. And it was an insult. It was a kick in the teeth. It was a spit in your goddamn mouth. He landed it right. He landed the noogie right in the back of your throat. He basically said, look, y'all putting all this pressure on me to come up with these AAA bangers. Let me tell y'all something. We done mentally and market-wise internally dissected the Xbox gaming community into 3 parts. Part number 1 is the casual gamer that are attracted to our little cheesy pizzazz or mystery rooms or inside Xbox that fall for that dumb shit. That's part 1. That's the biggest part. That is the biggest part, and that has the biggest potential growth. So that's group 1, the coffee shop group. Group 2 are the motherfuckers that really are Xbox fans, but have picked up the wrong motif and they cheer for us like we're a sports team. Because when you cheer for a sports team, you are cheering for an entity. No matter what the entity does, you're still supposed to stick with them. You selected the entity. That's what you bought into, was the entity. But Xbox is not a sports team. Xbox is a company that's supposed to provide goods and services. You're not supposed to just cheer for the entity. You're supposed to cheer for an entity that provides you goods, products, and services. So if they're not providing you products and services, there's nothing to cheer for. And that's why when my brethren say Xbox just don't know what they know what the fuck they're doing. I will tell you that one of the things when you're in the Fortune 500 world, one of the things that they focus on more than ever now is your psychology, your ability to understand the mindset of others and the habits of others that they don't even realize that they do subconsciously. We take classes all the time. The people's trends do this and people have the trends to do that. Trust me, they're doing that all the time in Silicon Valley as well. They already understand you motherfuckers' psychology. So when we sit here and we say Xbox don't know what to do, they know exactly what they're doing. They drug us along. We're still buying their products and services because, and group 1 is, because group 1 is all for it. They don't have a flag with Xbox. Group 2 is doing it fraudulently because they're frauding other people into saying it's coming, when all signs are there that it's not coming. But they've dedicated themselves to the entity instead of the product and the services. And then there's group 3. There was the group 3 that I was part of. Within group 3, I was just one of those simple motherfuckers. I was one of the simple people that believe that there was a remote possibility that maybe Phil was just stumbling on over himself. Maybe he was just trying to get his feet wet. Maybe all the stresses of having this whole thing in his hands. Maybe he just didn't know what to do. Maybe he was just a good henchman, but having that weight and that responsibility in his hands, maybe it just caused him to do certain things and he stubbornly doubled down on some things. I doubted Phil's intelligence. Phil is a very smart guy. And that was on me for doubting his intelligence and think that there was any hope. There was no hope. Because at the end of the day, Phil was smarter than all of us. He knew what the fuck they were doing. They know what the hell they were presenting. Look, this is the same guy that you same Xbox, now Windows gaming enthusiasts always say, you give Donnie D credit, but all the games that Donnie D brought you were discovered and deals were put together primarily by Phil. So if that's true, then how in the hell can Phil put together those deals and know what the hardcore want, but then hit the stage last night and have no idea? Was the motherfucker in the car accident that had amnesia? No. He drugged the hardcore along purposely to get whatever mind share that he could, because you got all these wood buffing and knob slobbing podcasts out here. Everything's okay. And Xbox execs show up on the shows. They're getting these clicks and these views. And now they think the world is not perfect. But meanwhile, they in the secret DMs saying the same shit that we're saying out in public. Steph keeping a G, what's up? Jay Wags, what's going on, brother? He said, y'all ain't watching the PlayStation VR showcase? But do you see what I'm saying? Again, this is a Fortune 500 company. Phil's been around for a while. Phil has been responsible for some of the most hardcore games coming to fruition for Xbox. Even though we didn't see the lineup that we originally wanted to see, a lot of us praised Rise, Sunset Overdrive, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Quantum Break. Phil had a big hand. He played a big deal in those games coming to fruition, the better half of the games. So how can the same guy be responsible for that, but then don't know what he's doing? Because Phil is a yes man. He's a smart one. His new boss now says, ditch that old mentality. We are going to hand out shovelware. We're going to be a better Steam than Steam is. And Phil said, okay, if that's what it takes for me to keep my job, fantastic. That's what he's doing. So to me, even though I'm disappointed that was their message to us in so many ways, I'm not totally surprised, because I told you guys, this was either going to go down one of two paths. Either Phil was bungling or had pressure on him and didn't know how to handle it. And I said there was a 35% chance of that, but it's still a chance. But the 65% chance is that Phil knows exactly what he's doing. He's playing us like a fiddle. He's using the wood buff and mind share out here in some of these Xbox. They wanted to say Xbox RP podcast, but no. Xbox Everything is Fantastic podcast. He was using the wood buff in there. He saw it. He sees the numbers. He sees how people react. You say anything negative about Xbox, they're blocking you. He saw all that shit. And he said, damn. These motherfuckers is running 30, 40, 50, 60,000, in some cases 100,000 strong. When you add up everybody that watches these Xbox Everything is Fantastic podcasts. Therefore, he said, you know what? If that be the case, then let's roll with that. Let's let them usher us into the next generation. And by the time we put the product out and get it to primarily our number one group, then we're golden. Again, they mentally dissected us into three parts. Group number one are the inside Xbox, the cheesy groups, the ones that like the mystery rooms and all that dumb shit. Right? That's the group that they're trying to reach, that coffee shop group. Number two is the wood buffing group. The people out here on YouTube always capping, even said that the Xbox show last night was okay, said it was 8 out of 10 and 7 out of 10. No, like, stop. Just stop the foolery. You're really exposing yourself now. I'm really scared for you because y'all motherfuckers need to be in an insane asylum. Well, maybe not. A lot of these people are getting paid and getting clicks and getting views off of this shit, so they're not going to give you the most upfront and honest views. They're gonna go back into the secret DMs and tell their shit. I'm letting you know that right now, that 90% of this shit that they regurgitate, they don't believe this shit. It's a business for them. It's a business or it's a hustle for them, right? I'm not getting paid from this. And I'm not saying when I do get paid, because I don't need it. I'm fine. I have a very comfortable life. I've been blessed with that. My wife can provide, even if I wasn't able to, I'm good to go. This is a hobby. This is not a hustle. Now, would I like it for it to grow, to open up other opportunities? Hell yeah. Do I want to provide an opportunity for other people that may want to make this a hustle, as long as it's a legitimate and honest hustle? Hell yeah. That's what PNTS Network is all about. But I'm not going to lie to kick it. And I'm not going to lie so you click it. The random guy says, MM2K, you lost faith in Phil. Say it ain't so, fuck dude. Bro, I never had faith in Phil. My very first video. Hey, let's do this, man. Let me do this for y'all. Because y'all think your boy is playing. I'm not playing with y'all. Let me get to that. Let me do this real quick. Go to my very first video. Let me go to my videos. My videos. All right, let me do this. All right, let me transition this over. All right. Now see, this is all M2K's videos, right? A lot of wood buffing, right? A lot of Xbox wood buffing. Come on, let's go. Hold on. Did they get rid of it? Oh, shit. I think they got rid of my video. What? Hold on. I had a video that said Phil got a promotion and I'm not celebrating. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me look. Phil, MM2K. Oh, shit. We got some funny duddy stuff going on here. Phil got a promotion. Okay. The fuck is going on? It ain't even listed in my videos. Here it goes. Phil Spencer got a promotion, and I'm not celebrating. I dropped this video September 20th, 2017. I'm not going to play it for y'all and make y'all suffer for this shit, through this shit. Because it was earlier on when M2K wasn't on his sauce. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never trusted Phil. Things just didn't add up to your boy. They didn't add up to me. Let me transition this back. They didn't add up to me. So I never trusted your boy. Random guy. You crazy. You got that out here. Death Stranding will hear my soul. Here's my thing. I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah. I've never had faith in Phil. Never. Now I said, again, me having faith in Phil was not tying him into something nefarious. I was very suspicious of him. And I said it's a high possibility, even higher, more so than not, that he is into something nefarious by all signs, by all intents and purposes. But again, I'm not psychic. I don't want to end up and do jail time like Miss Cleo trying to pretend to be one. So I'm just going to leave the opportunity out there because I'm not in these boards. I don't know what's going on in a man's head. I just see the trail evidence that likely leads to X. But I also say it again. Phil is either bungling or he's the most deceptive motherfucker out there in his wordplay, and we're just dumb enough to follow it. And I should have known better. I should have, like when Z told me, I'm still not going to apologize to that asshole. When Z told me on his podcast the other day, I'm not going to apologize to him on his channel, but I'm going to do it here. I got too much pride. When Z told me on his channel, hey, Moss, cut your shit. You're not getting nothing extravagant from Xbox. You're not. I knew better. Y'all saw the video. Phil Spencer got a promotion I'm not celebrating. But because of the nostalgia for the Xbox brand, I still held out a little bit of hope. When all indication was that the Xbox brand was killed the day Phil got that promotion. Okay? It died. And now you purely have Windows gaming. Okay, I want to share something with you guys. Let me share with you a tweet. Because y'all probably sitting there saying, no. Maybe they just, no. Let me explain something to you. In the wake of all this questioning, in the wake of all this concern about Xbox bringing those triple bangers, about Xbox doing the real deal Holyfield for the people that really ask for this stuff, that really are concerned with Xbox's direction. Let me show you what Phil's response was. And big up to the homie, Gaming for Days Raw, at Raw Wilson 1 on Twitter, for showing this to us. Can y'all see that? In this tweet, this is a quote. This is going to be a fun E3 for us. We had a discussion internally. Should we go big? Should we go big? Should we save some money? No. We're going to do our thing, and we're going to go as big at E3 as we've ever been. Phil Spencer. So you have to ask yourself, are those the words and are those the actions and culmination of somebody that does not know what he's doing? No, they're not. Phil knows exactly what he's doing. We're going to go big. He went big for that first section that I told you about. The 2 billion crowd, the coffee shop gamers. That was big for them. Gears 5 is coming out in like 55 seconds. You have gameplay that you air after the show. Because to you, that's not a big deal. Because it's a big deal to the hardcore. But what's a big deal to the hardcore is no longer a big deal to you. Get it? I can't sit here and tell my Sony brethren to read between the lines on why Sony's doing what they're doing, not showing up to E3 and all this other stuff. I can't do that and keep it jiggy and keep making excuses for this motherfucker. There is no excuse to be made. He drew a line in the sand. He utilized Group 2, which was the wood buffers, to keep Group 3 at bay. And now he basically told y'all, here's the line in the sand. Look down and see where you're at. Now, Group 3, you got a decision to make. You may not be on our side of that sand, of that line. You either come on over or you get shut the fuck out. Hence, your homeboy, Chris Steele, sent out a tweet to Phil and asked him, yo, Phil, what's the deal with that E3, baby? That wasn't it. Mind you, Phil's been following Chris as a member of BGST for a long time. Chris has always been Chris. He's always been Chris. They've always been following him. He asked him that one question. What does Phil do? He unfollows him. Now we got people out here saying, oh, he followed him because his feelings was hurt and he really thought that he knocked it out of the park. And Chris, you know, and then there's secret whispers that Chris maybe wasn't sending the best stuff and all. Get the fuck out of here. Chris has always been Chris, man. Chris has always been Chris. And he's always going to be Chris. You may not agree with his views, but Chris just keeps it real. And I have a lot of respect for Chris. Whether I agree with a particular view of his or not. So with that being said, stop the damage control. That wasn't the actions of a man that was hurt. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to do good for these guys. They just don't appreciate it. No, that was the actions of a man. Look, we drew a line in the sand. Look at the ground and see what side you're on. If you're not on our side, you got a decision to make. Either hop over here now or get the fuck out my face. And when Phil unfollowed him, that was phase one of get the fuck out my face. I wouldn't be surprised if down the line, Phil just started blocking people. The proof is in the pudding. He's been calling fans of his that wanted more, fans of Xbox that wanted more. He's been calling them fanboys. They've been jumping all down the throats of their fans that have been asking more. Meanwhile, they let people like Dustin Lingerie and DMC Ryan, whatever the fuck, Ryan McCaffrey from IGN, just disrespect the hell out of him. Aaron Greensberg going GameSpot, and them two cats were sitting there throwing around the phone and shit like, no respect. You would never see them do that to Yoshida, Adam Boys, or Andrew. None of them mugs. They would be sitting there with their hands folded. Yes, sir, please, can we demo your product? They get no respect at Xbox. But despite that, they'll let them do that. But you as a fan that's actually buying the product and services, them motherfuckers, they ain't even buying it. They're not even buying the products and services. The one girl that is on an Xbox podcast, now homeboy, what's his name? Slim Shady or Shady Empire, whatever his name is. That used to be on the what's it called podcast. So Shady. Now, y'all remember when he said something about old girl at IGN, about her not having an Xbox, and it was his vernacular and what he did. It seemed over the top, and everybody jumped on him and said, how dare you do that to this girl? But he brought up a very good point. How is you on an Xbox podcast and you don't have the premier Xbox, the premier Xbox hardware, and you work for a video game company? We're not talking about a Lamborghini or something like that, because I saw people doing comparisons like that. Now, I didn't appreciate my man the way he put it out there. He went all over the top. But the point was valid. These people have so least respect for you, they don't even feel like they got to buy your products. The one cat, I had the video. The one cat said when the PS4 Pro was coming out, I can't wait to get the PS4 Pro. And it's going to be 4K capable in some cases. I can't wait to get a 4K TV for that. And then when the X was about to come out, oh, man, you got to get a 4K TV for that? Man, I don't know about that one. The disrespect is paramount. And they deal with it. They don't even feel like they got to buy your product. But me as a product buying consumer, you can just flick me off and unfollow me when I don't go lock and step with your conversions to Windows gaming. Even though I may have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into your products and services. Why? Now, why do they get to respect it and I don't? Because they feel like that those guys are a catalyst to that $2 billion, and we're not. They care less. That's why they're going to show up on them shows for that second group, the middle group that I told you about, the wood buffers. They're going to show up on their podcast and make them feel special because they're walking lock and step. But at the end of the day, are you getting a better product and service out of it? Hell no. Hell no. I'm gonna ask y'all a question now. With all this shit that y'all want to talk about Donnie D, with all this shit that y'all talked about Terry Myerson, right? And the shit that you're still getting, does Donnie D seem that bad as far as the product and services he was giving you? I mean, I get it, Connect was bad. But we would have never gotten a Crackdown or Sea of Thieves or even a State of Decay that was that way, right? Donnie D had all intents and purposes that State of Decay was supposed to be AAA. It was going to get a full AAA upgrade. The developers said it themselves. And at the last minute, it was just an enhanced State of Decay 2. I mean, it was State of Decay 2 was just an enhanced State of Decay 1. So again, I can't sit here. Graphic God, what's up, bro? How's it going, man? I can't sit here and say, hey, yo, look. PlayStation brethren, y'all need to do this, that, or the other because Sony is taking their foot off the brake and completely ignoring this shit from Xbox. Now again, speaking of Graphic God, we've had discussions on while I was doing my show that I am not a fan of Sony products and services. So you won't be seeing your boy signing a contract. And again, the contract is just it's just symbolic. It's just a symbolic of who you claim to be the dominant force within the console gaming market. Ain't no doubt about it that Sony is, as far as saturation and as far as performance and as far as, items sold and all other stuff, that they have the number one spot. But I liken it to this. You got two restaurants side by side. Two fast food restaurants. You got Arby's, you got Subway. Now, I'm using this as an example. I particularly hate Subway. I hate the way the fucking place smells. There's something about the smell in a Subway that makes me want to puke. But my favorite fast food chain is Arby's. I love Arby's. So say I'm sitting at Arby's one day. I'm going to go get my food. And it's just taking them a long time to bring my food out. And then the food is not cooked well and all that other shit, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? So I peer out the window and I see that everybody at Subway, they're getting their sandwiches. They dancing in the street and shit like that and holding their sandwiches and everybody's biting off of each other's sandwiches. These motherfuckers are in bliss, right? Now, again, I just told you, even though that's happening in the street, they dancing in the street, right? Biting off each other's sandwiches. I just told y'all, I don't like Subway. So it's not a binary choice for me. So I'm not just going to go leave that Arby's and go start biting off these motherfucking sandwiches too. I'm just going to go find another Arby's. So I'm not signing no contract. I don't like their shit. I don't like it. It is what it is. For those of you that like it, good for you. And more people like it than not. That's why they are number one. I'm not taking that away from you. But what I'm saying, and I'm not saying this to the Sony people, I'm saying this to my Xbox people that still want to damage control this, that may be in group 3 that are thinking about edging over and crossing over that line in the sand and saying, well, I don't like the alternative, so I gotta go with them. No. Here's what you do. Now look, I got a game. So I got Xbox Live. I just upgraded my Ultimate. I should have waited, but I just upgraded to Ultimate till the end, pretty much until close to the end of 2020. I think like October. Ain't that a bitch? That's right before the next generation. When that upgrade runs out, As things stand, I'm not renewing it. I'm not renewing it. Now, normally, so I'm officially telling you that I'm not re-signing no contract with nobody. I am officially a free agent. Xbox has sent a message to me, and they said, hey, MM2K, we know what you wanted. We don't care about that anymore. We don't care about it. So you either come where we're going or you move on. Now, as far as what they were looking to provide, getting more people and having more shovelware, I don't give a shit about that. That's not my problem. My problem is that they're abandoning me altogether. And if you don't believe that, again, I would like for us to opine on the following tweet. This is going to be a fun E3 for us. We had a discussion internally. Should we go big? Big to them is having gameplay of Gears and not showing it on the big stage. Because hardcore is not big to them anymore. We'll show it elsewhere. If that's not more definitive, like I said in a tweet earlier, you need to ask your parents if they had you in the middle of Chernobyl. Because something's wrong. Now again, I'm not saying that if you look at the line in the sand and you look around and you say, yeah, well, with PlayStation as my alternative, I'm just going to follow this Windows gaming thing. They still got Halo. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what I'm telling you is for those of you that want to continue to wood buff and say this is just an expansion of Xbox or Xbox is growing or the show was great, you're lying. You're lying. And if you're a big YouTube entity, you are lying and misguiding unknowing gamers. How can you live with that? I can't. I started this on the premise that I wanted to give people as much information as possible for them to make their own decisions. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I'm not going to lie to kick it or lie so you can click it. And I got to be honest and just tell you, it's not a binary choice for me. I can't just look at the line in the sand, say, okay, well, they got Halo and Gears, so I'm just going to go with you automatically because I don't like Sony shit. I just don't like their shit. You know what I'm saying? I got to be honest with you. And y'all got to be honest with yourselves and be honest with the gaming public. Xbox only exists in name only. This is a complete conversion to Windows gaming. So officially right now at this moment, when you hear me talk about Xbox, I'm going to talk about the Xbox prior to Phil getting his promotion. Because after Phil got his promotion, it was already etched in the sand. It was already etched on, the writing was already on the wall that Xbox, the guts of it was dead. They were only going to keep the name to keep us the third tier full, so there wouldn't be too much reputational risk to the brand going into next generation. But right now, everything's signed, sealed, and delivered. People drew the line in their sand. They've even gotten to the point to where they wanted to threaten Z and render him unconscious and whoop his ass out of his Pumas. Xbox is looking at all this shit. And they're like, God damn, these motherfuckers going to kill for us. All right. Well, let's let it be known then. And like Snoop Dogg, if y'all hip hop fans, back in the East Coast, West Coast battle days, and they had the Source Awards, which was it was their version of E3 for hip hop. I think that was 93. And it was a big East Coast, West Coast battle. Gangster rap versus East Coast hip hop. And all the gangster rap artists were winning all the awards except for like Biggie, right? Or something like that. And Snoop got on stage. See, I was a big East Coast fan. I love East Coast hip hop. I was never a fan of the West Coast gangster rap. But I always had respect for Snoop. Because Snoop got on the stage and he said, "What, y'all ain't got love for Snoop Dogg and Death Row? What, you ain't got love for Snoop Dogg and Death Row? Well, fuck it, let it be that then. We know where we at." And essentially, that's what Phil and the Windows Gaming Group did last night. They said, you ain't got love for the Bambi, simulator. You ain't got love for 12 minutes in a room. We know where we at. Well, fuck it, let it be that then. Chris Steele, unfollow. Anybody else, unfollow. And we're blocking. Mr. Righteous Fish said, East Coast rap is the best. I ain't trying to start East Coast. Hey, yo, I agree with you, Mr. Righteous Fish, but I will say there were some dope groups out of there. I like that. The Funk Dubious, my homie Exhibit, Razcast. Hey, there was a bunch of dope West Coast groups that didn't get their shine, man. But yeah, I agree with that, man. These young kids don't know nothing about that. Beastie Nasty says, so free agent, that's not signing a contract. Does that mean no more gaming? No, I'm still game. I'm still gaming. I'm just not, I am not repping anybody. I'm not saying I'm an Xbox guy because Xbox exists no longer. That would be like me saying I'm a Dreamcast guy, even though there is somebody named Dreamcast guy, but that's just for nostalgia purposes. But I'm saying as far as the current, as much nostalgia as I have for Xbox gaming, hey, let me put it to y'all like this, why I'm so excited. There was a period of my life where I was so buried in the work that I had to do. And I grew up gaming. Rest in peace, my uncle. He was the one that showed me how to do gaming. I was gaming in a long time. Me and him was, we went back like car seats, man. He showed me, I watched, the first time I saw Fist of the North Star, he showed me anime, everything, all the little nerdy stuff that I know right now, I owe to my uncle, right? So he got me on gaming. So I've been gaming since I was like 6, 7, man. And I would always get, as a hand-me-down, I would get all his consoles. My uncle was an engineer, very intelligent guy. He stayed with my grandma. So he was one of them mugs where I ain't gonna spend my money taking care of myself. I'm going to spend my money on getting the things. And he was a very selfish guy, so that's why he did that. Rest his soul, right? And it wasn't until later, until he got a big engineering job with the state, with the government, that he finally went on his own. But that's how he was able to get his doodads and his knickknacks. He was a big Star Wars fan too. Had a lot of Star Wars paraphernalia, all this stuff, model, everything. My uncle was a big time nerd. With that being said, my uncle left and left me a lot of his games hand me down. So that's why I had every single console. We were poor. I couldn't afford it. I got them from my uncle. So, with that being said, I've been gaming for a long time. Then all of a sudden, I stopped. I stopped in around 2000, because 2001, 2002. I had to, at the time, I had managed our systems team, and there was a big project. We needed a big-time database created, and they had just purged a lot of people from our team. And I didn't have nobody really that could work on it except for me. So I said, fuck it, I'll do it. So I went and taught myself SQL, went to classes, worked on this thing for I was at work 15 hours a day. I couldn't do much gaming, in other words. 15 hours a day, 6 days a week, until I got the thing created. So all I did in that time is I just played like RPGs, my Arc the Lads and my Lunar Silver and Lunar Blues and all that shit. My Xenosagas or Xenogears. I played those on my PlayStation 1, and that's it. I never got into anything else. All the other action games, platformers, and stuff I didn't get into. Then the PlayStation 2, Dreamcast came out. Kind of got me a Dreamcast, but never got into it, right? Never got into it. Then the Xbox and the GameCube came out. And then, like, I was just picking up RPGs here and there for my PlayStation 2. I just had I'm sorry. I still had a PlayStation 1. Then I said, am I going to upgrade to the PlayStation 2? I said, yeah. So finally I upgraded. And then I was running this little scheme with EB Games and GameStop to where I was able to have enough in-store credit to where I could get a GameCube and an Xbox One because the project was done at work. So I started gaming. And at first, out of the three systems, the GameCube was my favorite. But then the GameCube was starting to phase out because of its lack of controls. So then I started gravitating more to the Xbox. And as I gravitated more to the Xbox because of the power and the type of games that were coming out, I was like, holy shit, this is taking things to a new stratosphere. Mind you, that a lot of stuff on the PlayStation 2 that was coming out, I couldn't relate to as far as a lot of the Japanese games. Even though I grew up on those type of games, I couldn't relate to because as I got older, I started going to more elaborate systems like the Tandy 1000 and the Commodore, where there were more Western developed games there. So I was playing things like Police Quest, King's Quest, Pirates, a whole bunch of Magic Johnson's basketball. If y'all know what I'm talking about, man, those were games that were on a whole nother stratosphere as far as anything you could ever play on a console. So as I got older, I matured to those. So those were the type of games I was used to. So to go back to what was primarily being pumped out on the PlayStation 2, it felt like a downgrade to me. I liked those PC games, but I wasn't a PC gamer because I didn't like the uneasiness of the PC. And the Xbox brought those games that I had matured to onto the console. The Jade Empires, you know what I'm saying? The Halos, even though I wasn't the biggest Halo fan, but those type of games. And then when we got into the 360 era, it did it even more. Mass Effect, BioShock, you know what I'm saying? Fallout, they helped bring Fallout to fruition, which is the pinnacle of a PC-like game that was brought to the ease of the console. So all this is happening. So Xbox meant a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? So we go into the next generation, where they're not doing so good. Because of the influence of Xbox, I'm still happy this generation because they had such a big gaming footprint on all of gaming altogether to where the games that I like, the Western developed games, the Far Cry's and stuff like that, were now becoming a standard within gaming. I'm happy, but I want to see this footprint expand. And the footprint isn't expanding because Microsoft is the one responsible for making that footprint expand, and they've completely abandoned it. Now the question was, until last night, was it because you are completely abandoned it because you could care less about it, or you've abandoned it because you're trying to integrate this new cloud thing and you're not sure how to integrate the two? And the question was answered. You abandoned it because you completely abandoned it and you don't care about it anymore. So with that said, I no longer can back a company. I could have respected what they were doing if there wasn't that third element of we're dividing them up into three parts. Part one is the coffee shop group. Part two is the wood buffers, and part three are the people that are foolishly following us, that we're going to use the wood puffers to keep them in check. If it wasn't for that last element, they just said, "Hey, look, we're new. We're having a different approach to gaming. This is new. We're going to keep Halo, Gears, and Forza, but we're going on a new path. We hope that you'll like this path." If they were more genuine about it, I could respect it, and I'd just be like, "Well, maybe I'll use this experience to supplement something a little bit more hardcore." But I can't fuck with them. I can't fuck with this Windows gaming thing because it's not about being on an up and up with me, the consumer. So I will be looking elsewhere. I'm eyeing to see what Amazon is doing. But y'all got to understand where I'm coming from. Where, again, I used a scenario where I was in Arby's. I looked out at Arby's, and I saw motherfuckers dancing in the street with their Subway sandwiches. But I'm not going to go bite the sandwiches with them. I can't stand Subway. So I just got to find another Arby's. You see what I'm saying? It ain't no hating on no PlayStation. Y'all got the crown, baby. Y'all got it. I don't need to sign shit. Y'all got the crown. But for my gaming needs, I got to go elsewhere. Now, does that mean I'll never play an Xbox product again? No, of course not. I don't prefer PlayStation, but I got a PlayStation here. You know what I mean? I mean, there is going to be some content that I'm going to be dealing with, but it's going to be at a bare minimum. And if it's going to be at a bare minimum, why continue to have a service that I'm supporting even though I'm not utilizing it? Like, I have Game Pass. I don't utilize Game Pass, but I do it out of support of their ecosystem because I was hopeful that the ecosystem would start churning out stuff that I like. But it's very clear that they could care less about that. So I'm letting the service lapse. Look, Bethesda last night talked about Orion. They talked about Orion coming on, which is going to be a service that helps other people stream. If Ubisoft comes out with a streaming service and Bethesda comes out with a streaming service, and then we get some type of third party that has a streaming service that has like other games, like if Steam comes out with something, I'll invest in those. That's it. Or if Orion altogether just grabs different, or if GameFly wants to jump back into Steam and provide a platform where everything will be streamed now, I'll just hop on that and get like a Bethesda and a Ubisoft. You know what I'm saying? And what do I need Xbox for? If there's an Xbox title that I'm interested in, I'll just buy it a la carte. I'll buy it a la carte. You know what I'm saying? They've made it very clear. Again, they made it very clear. They drew a line in the sand and they said, MM2K, we are not into the business of the products and services that you're looking forward to. So it is what it is. Take it or squeeze it. You know what I'm saying? And I made my decision. For nostalgic purposes, I love what Xbox did. And I'll talk about that. I'll do a video, an Xbox nostalgia video. But Xbox is dead. Xbox is dead. It's dead. It's gone. So understand, if you're damage controlling this, you have looked on the ground and you said, all right, well, I'll follow you into this Windows gaming thing. Only thing that I ask, which they're not going to listen to, the only thing that I ask is Windows gaming, Phil and Windows gaming. Can y'all drop the Xbox moniker just out of respect? I mean, can y'all do that? Just drop the whole Xbox thing, because y'all, this is not Xbox. This is Windows gaming. If y'all can drop the whole Xbox thing, then all the fuckery that y'all were into before, as far as fooling me in line and all the other shit, we'll just leave it at that. But just show some respect, because the Xbox symbolizes something to me personally. Like I told you, I gave y'all my own personal story. That's why I get so excited about this. And it's dead. And it's dead. And for y'all to do this fuckery with it, just show a little bit of respect. Just Windows gaming. Come up with something else. If y'all have any decency, and this is a plea, if y'all have any decency, then just drop the Xbox name and just call it Windows Gaming. Remove, if y'all want to call that Stadium Xbox Stadium, that's fine, whatever. Older entities get renamed as buildings and statues and shit like that all the time. But as far as the fluid moving entity right now, just get rid of that. That'd be cool if y'all could do that. All right. Let me go to my chat before I move on. Mr. Righteous Fish says, I don't think they will get young kids because they like what's popular. Xbox ain't it. Let me look more. Oh, what the hell's wrong with my mic? Graphic God said, "Did you guys keep watching E3 content on YouTube? They showed lots of gameplay. It wasn't at the presser." And see, here's the thing, Graphic God. That was to my point. The presser is the big thing. That's the big showcase. That's the real deal Holyfield. So for you to have this gameplay and for you not to show it at the presser, that symbolizes that what is your main focal point? You know what I'm saying? What is your main focal point? Like E3 is a hardcore event. The casual people ain't watching E3. They're not. Casual people get news of E3 as it disseminates from the different areas. And then they will chop up that video, as you say, and they'll play it out. And then the casual. But if you're hardcore, the people that are spending thousands of dollars to come to your show, airfare and hotel and all other stuff, they didn't come to see the schizophrenic Bambi, the Bambi with dementia running into candy machines. They didn't come to see that. They came to see Gears gameplay. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, because they're not showing that on the big stage, that tells you what they consider big. Nobody said they didn't have to show it. They could have showed it in the clips that they're showing the Gears gameplay now, and they could have showed it in Inside Xbox. And it still would have got attention. But where the hardcore congregates to, the big stage. And what Microsoft is saying is that we don't care about that. Matter of fact, we want to turn the big stage into a platform for the 2 billion, for the coffee shop. Our big stage is representative of the coffee shop gamer. I'm not a coffee shop gamer. I'm not. So the schizophrenic Bambi simulator, I don't care about that. Why is that? Why do I see more gameplay of that than I do of Gears on the big stage? That's a problem for me. But moreover, it's not a problem for Microsoft because they know what they're doing. But it's a message from Microsoft. All right, so and somebody said something here in the chat that I thought was poignant. Beast Nasty said I gave it a 6 last night. Showing Fable would have helped me a lot. Beezy McNasty. I'm gonna say this. It all depends. What I don't want to disparage anybody's opinion. That's silly, and that does not speak to diversity of thought and diversity within gaming. I don't care what people like. I just, as a consumer talking to the company, tell me what you're trying to do so I can make a decision. And Microsoft, Windows Gaming hasn't been the most forthright stewards of that. They did a lot of shady stuff. So here's what I'm saying. This is basically what I'm saying. If you're a hardcore gamer, if you came to the system for the Jade Empires, the Armed and Dangerouses, even the Preys and the Quake 4s and the Halo 3s and the, Mass Effects and Bioshock. If that's what brought you to the system because Microsoft was putting their gaming footprint in that area and you thought that nuance and explorative gaming and open gaming and shooters and stuff like in sci-fi shooters, if you liked that brand and that brand being ported over to the ease of console, then and trust me, that was the staple of the Xbox game. It wasn't no indies and all this other shit. that staple is gone. And if you're true, and if that truly was the staple of Xbox gaming to you, then you can't legitimately rank the show anything over a 5. Now, again, I'm not saying that if you do rank it over a 5 that your opinion doesn't matter. I just want to be abundantly clear that nothing shown last night on that stage hit significantly on that pillar whatsoever. If you take in the culmination, the place that Xbox is, as far as people questioning whether if they care about producing that type of stuff anymore or helping to foster that type of product anymore. You cannot give this over. So it sounds like to me, BZ, that you may have liked some of those elements as far as Xbox is concerned, but you're also a fan of the Windows gaming element. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I just want to make poignantly clear for those that did not catch the show or that may be questioning what's going on. A simple way to look at this is, what is the pillar of Xbox gaming to you? If the pillar is those things that I talked, those games that I talk about, that type of experience that I talked about, then this at best was a 5. And that's being courteous. Now, if you've changed and you've came originally for those experiences, but you like what you see out of this new Windows gaming motif, then that's fine. But I just want to separate the forest from the trees. Understand, if you're wholeheartedly focused on that experience, that hardcore experience that I talked about, Microsoft made it abundantly clear. They are not about that anymore. Yeah, they're going to keep Halo and Gears. That's it. They're not about, the rest of their focus is going on this other stuff. All right. Now, let's move on. Let us move on. Paul G said 2 out of 10. I know, Paul G, you just hating, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that score is way off. For my liking. It's not way off. Okay. So here's the deal. Bethesda Showcase. Well, so what do I rank Xbox's Showcase? I originally gave it a 4. I never really thought about this. Like a hardcore. No, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Here's why. They showed I would give it a 4 out of anger, but I can't be angry. I'm gonna give it a 5 only because in so many words, they told us what they were trying to do. And we just held out hope for them because Phil's such a nice guy. So, I mean, I can look at it like this. I can make it a 4. I can penalize them for being deceitful. Or I can penalize us for being gullible. And I think the two nullify itself. Because I say all the time, we got to keep our head on the swivel. If we're going to be if we're going to be that gullible and help make these situations come to fruition, then that's on us. So I can't penalize them for that. Since 2017, I've known it myself, and I still held out hope, and that was dumb. So I give the show a 5 out of 10. But but 5 out of 10 is unacceptable to me. Okay. Bethesda Showcase. Here's my thoughts on Bethesda's Showcase. I talked about messaging, but messaging was important to Bethesda because Bethesda was known as the brash, the I don't give a shit game publisher, hardcore game, a less irritating Cliffy B, right? Or less arrogant Cliffy B. And because of that, they got a lot of acclaim. But you're now in an era where gamers are less inclined. Gaming is more mainstream than it's ever been. Back in the day, when gamers were laughed at on a regular basis, we looked for those shallow entities, those badasses. See, gaming ain't for all nerds, even though we were the nerds and we had the retainers in our mouths. Hey, gamers ain't for nerds. Look at this cool guy over here. Like his coolness automatically oozed on us and made us cool, right? So we had these shallow entities that we praised, despite what they said or what products they put out there. We were praising the entity. Again, the same problem that a lot of the Xbox gamers or a lot of the fans of the Windows gaming system that's out now that they're doing. They're praising the entity instead of praising the product. And that's why, real quick, people like Cliffy B got exposed. And what happened last year is Bethesda got exposed. In light of them growing a new brand, here's what they did too. And they did in reverse. And I got to give it up to the casuals because the casuals don't play like we do. Over the years, Bethesda has taken a successful niche product, which was Fallout, and iteration after iteration after iteration made it a staple within the casual community. Not a very big staple, but made it a staple. With Fallout 4, they added all the right casual elements to bring the casual gamer along. The Minecraft elements and the companions and all that other silly shit. And the overarching dialogue trees that at the end of the day make no motherfucking sense, but they put them in there because that's what casual gamers wanted. Like when you look at Fallout 3 and the dialogues that you had in Fallout 3 and what the end results were, and compare them to New Vegas and Fallout 4, Fallout 3, as far as your dialogue was concerned, was a simple, I'm looking to go this way. So when I answer you, I'm answering you in a way that will help steer me in that path. This is what I want my game to be, right? Kind of like Bioshock. Are you going to be the good guy or the bad guy? Well, I'm going to pick the bad decisions so I can be the bad guy. Same thing with what's it called? Like Mass Effect. You want to be the good guy or the bad guy? I want to be the bad guy, so I'm gonna pick the bad guy decisions. It added a dynamic to the game to where you can switch things up. But if I did A, I was gonna get B result, and I could see what the fruits of the nature of what B result would lead to. Well, became this new thing where things just don't make sense. Everything's just thrown up in the air. Let's play the magic 8-ball. Let's just shake it up and just see what we get. And a hardcore gamer is a little bit more constructed and is a little bit more slotted in their state of mind. Like they're very serious about what they do, so they just don't want a mumbo jumbo of anything could possibly happen. Like if I'm looking to get that Death Star gun in Fallout New Vegas, and I'm making decisions that are going to take me to each individual element, but there was something in the dialogue tree that I should have said I like raisinets, and because I didn't say I like raisinets, now I can't get the thing. That's a casual, let's just throw anything up in the air and see what falls down type thing. That's an artificial way for them to add some mysterious, exciting dynamic. That's the shit that they like. A hardcore gamer or a hardcore Fallout fan is not a fan of that. That angers them. But that became a staple of the game since Fallout New Vegas. I had to put down Fallout New Vegas for a while. Again, using that same example, I wanted that gun that allowed you to kill anything once a day with just one shot. And none of the dialogue trees that put me on that path made any fucking sense. And I said, this is not the Fallout experience that I came to love. I'm putting it down. But that's what became popular. Woo, let me just shake it up and see what mystery box comes out of this. Woo! So, because of that becoming popular, They continued to put it in Fallout 4. I remember going into a village in Fallout 4 and the village with the girl. I think she was, and you had to kill her or save her or whatever. And the end result made no fucking sense. I had to pull out Fallout 4 for a little bit. Like, God damn. Like, I thought this was just an Obsidian thing. This is why this thing didn't make any sense. The original Fallout team is doing this shit too. Oh, damn, let me put this down. But that was popular with the casuals. So in comes out Fallout 76, and it wipes that out. And if you're in a silo, like the Bethesda team and like myself, the ones that have been there since the beginning, since Fallout 3, and respected the game for what it was at the jump, then you're looking at Fallout 76 not having any NPCs, not having that magic 8-ball moment, and you're like, who cares? This is a co-op Fallout. And it's more action-based. This is going to be the shit. Yeah, it's going to have its bugs at the beginning. But what Fallout Bethesda game, because they're so huge in scope, and they're releasing this shit every 3 years. So Fallout games and Bethesda games and Todd Howard games aren't known for polish because they're in such high demand. People are like, fuck over polishing this thing. Just put it out there in a playable state. So they do that. And the game gets land-based. And what casuals do is they like to go for the overkill. And now you got this idiot herd out there that don't have diversity thought. They can't look at things individually. They see a herd running a certain way and they want to run with them. I guess they feel like they got to belong. So then you have more and more people talking about Fallout, talking about things they have no experience with that didn't make any sense. That I exposed in my video. If you check out my video. Again, I didn't say the game was fantastic or perfect. I rate the game a 7.5 at release. It still needed some work in some areas, but it was solid enough to enjoy. And like other Fallout games over time, they'll increase it to make it better. And I said, watch, believe you me, watch. They're going to be praising this game within the next 12, like they do with every Fallout. It happens every single Fallout. It's just this one released with the lowest score because you had the most casual anticipation. They didn't get the big thing that they wanted. And not having a dialogue tree doesn't sound staunch enough. So they had to pile on. There's no story in the game. Lie. There's nothing to do in the game. Lie. The game is broken. Lie. It's buggy, but it's buggy like a Fallout game. Did y'all consider all the other Fallout games broken? I got 2-hour videos with footage that showed you otherwise. I'm playing with TRS. TRS is on the Xbox Fat, the original Xbox. We're experiencing a typical Fallout game. Did I say it was the smoothest? No, but it's more broken than the other Fallout games. It was a lie. It was a lie. Then you had to think about canvas bags and Nuka-Cola rum and all this other silly, dumb shit that people were running with. Now, despite what I feel about the Fallout of Fallout, Bethesda did not handle this well. Bethesda said, hey, we're Bethesda. 2 beans in a bucket, fuck it. We'll eventually get to fixing this game. And the world didn't like it. And they put Bethesda to task for it. They did. And they showed Bethesda. Now, whether I think it was fair or not, it is what it is. We can sit there and fight about what's fair all you want. It is what it is. You got to understand the climate that you're in. And the thing is that Bethesda have been humbled and they realized that they were the last Cliffy B's out. No. The last Cliffy B out there is Kojima. And I got a feeling he got a Reckoning 2 coming when his shit drops. If it does drop in 2018. But that's a whole nother story. So they got humble and they realized, okay, you get to show a little badassery here and there. But that cockiness got to go. Different era. And they realized that. Todd Howard went on the Apology World Tour. He was on IGN apologizing for Fallout 76 prior to E3. He admitted that it harmed the brand. And when they came out for E3, they announced that Fallout 76 is getting NPCs. And I thought it was funny. And the guy emphasized, with your dialogue trees, hey, waving his hand. That was sarcasm. But it's the truth. It's everything that I've been saying. But regardless if I think it's fair or not, it is what it is. It's the climate. And whether you think it's fair that it's raining or not, if you go outside with without an umbrella, and then you end up getting sick, that's on your ass. It is what it is. And then they announced that they're coming out with 52-player Battle Royale. Holy shit. I wasn't even expecting that. So like I said before, in 12 to 18 months, y'all gonna be singing Fallout 76's praises like y'all did Fallout 3 after the 12 to 18 months. Like y'all did Fallout New Vegas. Y'all remember y'all made the Obsidian guy get online and apologize for Fallout New Vegas. 12 to 18 months later, it's the best Fallout ever. Fallout 4. Oh, this is just Minecraft and Fallout 3. Now that's like Fallout 4 was fantastic. Fallout 76 is garbage. I wish it was like Fallout 4. Now they bring in your NPCs and they're going to do the Battle Royale. Excuse me. So I think that's a big win for Bethesda. Big win. And they show gameplay. And the gameplay looked good. And I'm not a Battle Royale person. Then they showed the Ghostwire Tokyo. And even though that was just a cinematic trailer, that whole concept looks dope. That trailer was bad as hell. Then they showed some more Rage 2. No. Then they showed ESO Elsewhere. A lot of that was all cinematic trailer, but again, it was cool. It was okay concept. Then they showed Rage 2, that they're dropping new shit for that every week. And they showed gameplay. That was dope. Now, I'm not a big Doom fan. It's just too fast paced for me. But then they showed Doom Eternal. It looked like more Doom, but it's Doom that people love. And they show climbing mechanics. They're trying to stretch it out and make it more campaigny. I thought that was a good showing. Now they did show that phone game. They showed a couple of phone things. They showed the Blades, Elder Scroll Blades, and they showed that game with the kid. I didn't care about that. Those were the low points. But then they showed this Orion technology, where I think this is the biggest thing out of E3 so far, where all these streaming services, they're working with them to where bandwidth is not going to be a problem as far as you still getting that 4K 60 capability for streaming. So all of us that were bitching and complaining about data caps running out, with the integration of Orion, it sounds like if our data caps run out, it don't matter. You're still going to get top-notch fidelity. Now, these are their words. So we'll see. More to come. That's a big fucking deal. BZ McNasty said Microsoft didn't do anything stupid, just not enough. No, it was stupid to not do enough. I'm sorry, BZ. There's no other way to slice it. I appreciate your comment, but there's no other way to slice it. It was stupid not to do it. When people have been complaining that you haven't done enough, like let me ask you something. Let me ask you a question. You come to my restaurant, BZ. You be like, bro, I want a hamburger and I want French fries. I'm like, okay, cool, I got you. And I put 2 French fries on a plate. You're like, bro, that's not enough. And I'm like, okay. And I put 1 more French fry on the plate. Are you wrong if you say within your head or even say to yourself, is this motherfucker stupid? Or what? It's not enough. So in essence, it was stupid for Microsoft not to do more, not to put out enough. That was stupid in their case, because that's been their big Achilles heel. They're not giving us enough. Their gaming footprint is light. There's not enough of the games that had our jaws dropped last generation coming this gen. Is not enough. So for you to come out there and not do that, that was stupid. Now, I don't say it was stupid. It was stupid because instead of you, all you had to do was put out a cinematic trailer. Fable. All you had to do was do a couple more Halo Infinites. Right? And show Gears 5. All you had to do was, if Bethesda can fucking do it, and they're nowhere near your wealth, I think Bethesda's worth $1.9 billion. If Bethesda can do it, just put out cinematic trailers for ESO and that Ghostwire game. That's all you had to do. Was put out 2 cinematic trailers, show some gameplay of Gears, show some gameplay of Halo Infinite. Good night, folks. Totally different E3. I'm not up here saying what I'm saying because it's showing me that you got care. That you at least recognize that I'm the staple of gaming and the staple of your success. But instead, you rather use some of these podcasters to try to keep me in check and think that's still going to work. It's not going to work now. That part is stupid. Now, do I think they're going to fail because of it? I doubt it. They've dragged us on long enough to where I think the impact that we're going to have ain't even going to matter because they're not basing their success off a console. If their success was based solely off the console, I would say yes. But now that they're putting their product out there for everybody, I don't think so. It's the 12th hour. The bell is already rung. But I think it's stupid that instead of you being transparent, fully transparent, and trying to work with us and just put out a couple of trailers, you would rather try to fool us. I think that's stupid. BZ McNasty says, so we're killing Microsoft for streaming and cinematic trailers and praise Bethesda for streaming? No. Look, here's the thing. I don't care about streaming and cinematic trailers. That's not my issue. And that's not the issue for a lot of us in that third tier. The ones that have to look at the line in the sand. Our problem is the content. It's not the method. It's not the delivery. It's the content. I don't care if they go to streaming. As long as I get my badass games, I'm happy. Microsoft is not showing badass games or their commitment to putting out new badass games. Period. Bethesda showed badass games. They showed their commitment to streaming badass games. Their showcase was 20 times better than Microsoft's. I would give their showcase, I'm leaning between a 7.5 and an 8 for Bethesda. Here's why. It all depends on how serious this Orion technology is. Shit, it might boost it. If this Orion technology is that damn powerful, and I can do something like take my incoming data, because I can do this with my telephone service. I can say, take my incoming data and make it this. Like only stream me 5 megabytes per second maximum. I don't care what the video is. I don't care what the capability is. Just I cap it out at 5 megs. And at the user end, I can say, take that 5 megs and still give me 4K 60. That's a big deal. Now, again, that may sound like a pipe dream. I don't know. I'm not claiming to be an expert, but that's what I got from what they were saying last night. And if that is the capability and that's something they can make come to fruition, that's a big deal. And it may not be a game per se, but it has something to do in relation to gaming that's going to be a big deal, and it's going to drive the industry forward majorly. My problem with streaming is fidelity and data caps. Because at the end of the day, the way gaming isn't the way that it is 15, 20 years ago, where you got a disc and you didn't need anything online to validate it, or DRM. DRM, as days go by, is more and more impact of games, and you're just getting licenses. So at the end of the day, they can if you buy a physical disc or not, they can shut off that license. And being more and more of these games require some type of online connectivity, you're going to come to a point to where every single game, whether it's just a single player only game or not, it's going to have DRM. And you're not going to own anything. You're just going to own the license. It's just the way that it is. So because of that, again, I don't mind streaming as a supplement to my dedicated service right now, but down the road, it's going to be more than just a supplement in a lot of ways. Down the road, though, once the things get more capable as far as fidelity is concerned, and this Orion might be the answer to that, or the beginning of the answer to that. But again, to answer your question, McNasty, I don't have a problem with Microsoft's delivery of their products and services. I have a problem with the products and services. So, with that said, and we're going close to 2 hours. That's it in a nutshell, people. Microsoft has now fully converted to Microsoft Gaming, Windows Gaming. Xbox is dead. Any use of the Xbox, even from Microsoft themselves, is deceptive or only for nostalgic purposes. Them continuing to use the Xbox monitor as a farce. Xbox monitor is all about bringing you and influencing nuance, hardcore, AAA experiences to the ease and play of a console or to a dedicated box, right? Now, the dedicated box part can reasonably transform itself and converge into more streaming. But you can't get rid of the dedicated box part and get rid of the AAA banger part, influencing the AAA bangers. You can't get rid of both of them and still have Xbox. You know what I'm saying? I can see you tweaking one or the other, but you're getting rid of both of them. You're getting rid of the box, and you're getting rid of the focus on the AAA new experiences, the fidelity new experiences. You can't get rid of both and still have Xbox. I don't know how else to break it down to you. The real master says the mobile gaming, Bethesda was a mobile gaming conference. Did you watch it again? I noticed that y'all were talking during the conference, and there was a lot on mobile gaming, Maz. But again, I'll go over it. Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, Doom, Rage, Ghostwire Tokyo. Now, granted, there was Blades, and there was that Elder Scrolls. There was that game with the kid. But the vast majority of it wasn't mobile related. They did talk about that Orion technology, that streaming thing. I think y'all were like, as I was listening to the podcast, y'all were going in and out on a lot of the major parts. So, you check it out again. BZ McNasty said, I got a whole check out. Hey, man, it's dead, man. It's dead, bro. He said, I'm sorry. I got to check out your podcast more often and hold you to that dead comment, bro. It's dead. It's dead. I mean, we just got to call it. I mean, a spade is a spade. We just, this will be part of the healing process. We being honest with ourselves. Xbox is dead. This is purely Windows gaming. If you're converting to a Windows gaming fan, fine. I'm not mad at you. Just understand that what Microsoft did last night is they drew a line in the sand. They said, look, where are you at now? Are you on the side with us? Or are you on the other side still waiting for this high fidelity AAA banger shit? Because we're not giving it to you. We're not giving it to you the way that you wanted it. So you either come over on our side of the line or you stay over there. Are you coming over? Great. Fantastic. Here goes the schizophrenic Bambi simulator. The Bambi with dementia. Here goes the 12 minutes in a room. We're going to hit you with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy. Game Pass Ultimate, $14.99 a month. Or you're going to say, well, no, man, come on. Y'all got to give us this. Man, what are y'all doing, man? This is Xbox. If y'all still sticking with the name Xbox, y'all got to give us this AAA experience. Hold up. We drew the line in the sand. You clearly don't want to come on the side of the line. Fuck you. We'll unfollow you. We'll block you. We'll do whatever we need to do. So, it is what it is. Real masculine in the chat with his ass talking about he's E3 Adamas. You can let Z know via this podcast that, I was foolish and even putting 3% on. But I'll be damned. I'm gonna take a quote from my boy, the real masculine. I'll be damned if I get on his podcast and say, I got too much pride. I got too much pride in my stride. Pause. I don't mean that way. Again, not attacking anybody's preference. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know where I'm at. So it is what it is. With that being said, I appreciate everybody coming out here, man. Thank y'all for listening to your boy. Again, we got to keep it real. People that were fans of the Xbox is dead. I got to keep it real. I can't sit here. Y'all can't expect me to sit here and be so staunch and be so blunt about the console war being dead when Sony just does a memorandum. But then we have what we have last night, and y'all want me not to even touch the subject of Xbox being dead. When I say Xbox is dead, I mean Xbox the brand is dead. I don't mean Windows Gaming is dead. Windows Gaming, if I had to put my money on the wood, if I was a bet man, Windows Gaming is going to thrive. It's going to be successful for the company. It's just not going to provide what I want as a gamer. But Xbox is dead. Make no mistakes about it. Xbox is dead. And it's all about Windows Gaming now. So with that being said, I want to appreciate everybody coming out. Paul G, The Real Maslin, Brown Devil 2, Mr. Free to Be Me, BZ McNasty, I appreciate you coming through. Joe Hansel, good seeing you again. Yo, Jira Hanma. I bet you were enjoying this, my bro. Samuel Walton. Hero 14. Let me see who else we got here. Mr. Righteous Fish. CD Mac 5. Graphic God. Thank you for coming through, Graphic God. Black God 59. Black God 59 says, I feel you, but you did give them the benefit of the doubt after all these years. You can't be too mad. Yeah, I can't be mad. I am upset, but I can't be mad. I really need to be upset with myself. Because all the signs were there. Like my bro, the Real Maslin said, like Z said, I won't admit it on their channels. I'll admit it on mine. They've given us no reason to give them any hope. You know, they were lying to us. We should have called it as it is. We shouldn't be worried because somebody looks harmless in their limbo shirt. That's, you know, that's psychology. And Fortune 500 people do it all the time. The random guy, the almighty. I appreciate y'all coming through. No doubt. Thank y'all for joining this. I'm going to watch the PC gaming show later. I wanted to do a live stream, but I got to a late start. Jay Wags says, Moz, tell him the score on the video was not word for word. Almost the same video they showed. Yeah, the 1X. Black Ice. Oh, yeah, I had a lot of people in the chat, man. I'm sorry I missed y'all. Skip Bayless. Thomas Franks. Sorry I missed all of y'all. The Nail Bat. That's my crazy cat in the background. Sage Moat Lewis. Hey, man, after and Cali Rex. I thank y'all for coming through. Again, let's be honest as gamers. It is what it is. Games aren't going nowhere. It's just that, you know. I can't stand. Hey, Paul G, I can't stand you. How you gonna do that to me? Paul G says, MM2K, have a great Microsoft day. Paul, I appreciate that. That'll be my new name. Have a great Microsoft day. Because I want to get it clear to everybody. This is officially Microsoft Gaming now. Oh, one white Kong. Big up to one white Kong. Said, finally speaking the truth. I've always been speaking the truth. I just said that there are possibilities. Now, was I 100% right? I mean, when I say there's possibilities, I'm hedging my bet. You know what I'm saying? But it was a possibility. Hold on 1 second. I was just hedging my bets. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, I appreciate everybody. Oh, man. With that being said, I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Real Mass, Liz Zeno, this is the best I'm going to give y'all for an apology. I got a whole bunch of talking points. I got a whole bunch of damage control. I ain't admitting the shit. And y'all, hey, look. And with that being said, y'all have a wonderful Microsoft day. I'm going to cover the PC Gaming Show. Let me watch it separately, and then I'll give y'all my thoughts. It's a big deal to me because Epic is hosting it. Y'all know how I feel about Epic. With that being said, have a wonderful Microsoft day. Peace.